Advocacy, a psychotherapist with more than 30 years of experience. Britta specializes in trauma, neuropsychopathy, and equine-assisted therapy. She has trained medical professionals, law enforcement, and crisis intervention, bringing compassion and expertise to some of the most challenging human experiences. At the same time, she is a national leader in equine protection policy, working directly with legislators and coalitions to advance laws like the SAFE Act and combat horse slaughter. Her work reminds us that healing, whether for people or horses, requires both heart and action.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm not going to say too much because I don't have a lot of time, so I want to move through this as fast as I possibly can.
You have 25 minutes.
Okay. All right. So I'm the legislative director for Horse Plus Legislative Coalition. It's a C4 for Horse Plus Humane Society. Horse Plus Humane Society is the largest equine rescue in the world. We have 40,000 members. We have a horse network across the country, rescues and sanctuaries and organizations under that umbrella. I started lobbying in 2016 and fortunate enough to find a fantastic team. I'm simply a messenger today. What you're going to see actually is the first time any of this information has been given to the public. So everyone in this room is, you guys are the first to see this other than congressional offices. I've had about 50 meetings on Capitol Hill this past year, and 26 meetings in Texas, and a handful of meetings in New Mexico. So you guys are the only ones to see this so far. So we're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna run through this. I'm only gonna show, I have 25 minutes. I'm gonna show the audio and visual from our undercover investigation. I'm gonna just sort of rapid fire show you those because that's what's important. This person doing this work is still out there doing it. Everyone here, I trust implicitly. I don't think that anyone is going to go talk to a kill buyer and give out information. But this is confidential. He's still out there. We're still protecting him. So I'm going to go ahead and get going with this. What we have found, we started investigating in September of 2024 for many reasons. Horse Plus Humane Society started coming down, started getting horses in, and you're going to see this, started getting horses in with some symptoms that look like the flu or a cold, maybe strangles, but not. And Horse Plus Humane Society has a very large medical facility with medical staff. And so the vet started testing. We started finding diphtheria in horses. And it was random. So the horses coming in were testing positive by nasal swab for diphtheria. And we got horses from Texas, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, random locations. Most of you know the terminology. And we had a wonderful presentation yesterday and that talked some about the difference between auctions and pipeline and things like that, kill buyers. Interesting, we had this lovely dinner last night, this beautiful location, and here we are talking about the definition of kill buyers. And it's funny how we just can sit and talk about these things. We're gonna talk a little bit about, you're gonna hear me say rejected horses, black market butchers. You're gonna hear about zoonotic diseases, diphtheria. So diphtheria, this is the Tdap vaccination. Before the vaccination, children died by the thousands. And so with the rate of children not being vaccinated in this country and the fact that we're starting to find diphtheria, in horses that have been rejected from Mexico that are coming back across into the slaughter pipeline, into the auction pipeline is concerning. So I defined this a little bit. This is the USDA report for the slaughter pipeline into Mexico, not Canada. As you see, the numbers have dropped significantly. They went back up in 25, unfortunately, and that's going to be, okay, thank you, really due to wild horses being shipped to slaughter. Wild horses are going by the trailer load every week. Only 0.4% of the horse population in the United States ships to slaughter. And so when you hear about an overpopulation of any horse breed, it's just not existent. So here you're going to hear an audio of our undercover person. And surprisingly, this is one of the videos or audios that legislative offices are reacting to the most.
A quick question for you. The livestock inspection stops for transporting kill horses across state line.
Are you going to a certain kill pen? In general?
All over, just going all over. We should try to get them, sell them.
So we do have approved markets, but we can do a permit instead of that health certificate and negative carbon.
Okay, and then I can just do a permit right over the phone?
Yes, sir. It's just a number that you would keep in your phone or write down and keep on you.
I mainly deal with boating whenever I'm dealing with the horses. Sometimes I'll take cattle a little bit further south.
Call in this number, and if it's not in hours, you'll get a voicemail, and it'll give you an after-hours permit, and you just leave a voicemail with, where you're going to, your name, and how many horses you're taking.
Alrighty, I definitely appreciate your help.
Okay, so this essentially leaves a loophole across the entire country. You can call Texas Animal Health Inspection and say, I am a kill buyer, and gosh, you know what? I really don't have time to get health certs in Coggins. You can call this number. They'll give you a code, and you can travel anywhere in the country you want with no health cert, no Coggins.
Britta, thank you for obtaining that.
Yeah. Texas officials are freaking out. This is just a photo from an ICE interception. Drugs found in trailers. This is essentially the transport pipeline from auctions and the corridors through the country. This is a mare, as you can see, brought in by Colorado Horse Rescue Network. Urinary or uterine infections pretty constantly couldn't be treated. This is one of the rescues under our umbrella. The vet decided that she needed to flush out her uterus, and out came plastic bags and tape, things like that. This I know is a little disturbing. This is from inside a trailer coming back from Mexico. This trailer load of horses was transported across the border to Mexico, and the person that transported this group of horses was then told a couple days later to go back and get a handful of horses, same horses, and this is them coming back across the border into the United States.
Britta, can you use the mic, please?
Oh, sorry, yes. Hello. Okay, so, all right, so this photo was taken by our person undercover from inside the trailer. We're starting to see this more and more, tracheotomies in horses and kill pens that are essentially put in horses' necks for months and months and months at a time. This is a horse that came in with a trach from a kill pen into a Horse Plus Humane Society, and this is the vet taking the trach out. This is a buoy. The paint that you see in the upper right-hand corner, I think, is also a buoy. This is a horse that came into us, and see if this is, and as you can see here on the right-hand side, varying layers of injury. And so you'll see an old sort of leathered part of the skin, and then newer and fresher wounds. And as the video for this is, I don't have that to play, but when the vet palpated the area on her side there, it was an empty pocket, and it was just air. So again, drug smuggling in horses' bodies, as well as in the trailers. Here is one of the first horses we got with diphtheria. As you can see, I mean, no visible signs other than being underweight, starving as most are, and more horses. The first one we got in September 2024 was a Mustang. This is an unhandled horse, not halter broke, couldn't get close to it. And so the question was, how on earth does an unmanaged, unhaltered horse get diphtheria? As we started to get more and more with diphtheria, we had to report it. Went to Texas Department of Ag, where you see here the drug test results. As we got more and more, we had to Ag Department said, well, this is above our pay grade. We need to engage the CDC. So we're working with the CDC directly. We have to send in all reports to the CDC. The CDC is saying, we've never seen this, really don't know what to do with this. But the only way that horses can get diphtheria is by close contact to sick humans for an extended, prolonged period of time. What does that mean? We can speculate what that means. Humans in trailers coming across the border from Mexico. We just got our first case of sexually transmitted disease. So this is a brand new slide, and I think that was Colorado. And there's the test result from Texas Ag. So sex trafficking, the audio you're getting ready to hear is between our undercover person and people inside the pipeline.
If there's some human trafficking here at the stop, I wonder if they're using them for that. I truly believe, and I've seen humans inside the trailers. If I remove the drugs into this town and move it out with the stop trailers or humans, or as you said yesterday, they do a lot of sex trafficking.
Yeah. That conversation goes on. We take clips, and we have to try to make this as short as we can. So here is.
I got a horse trailer here with UDA, send me Border Patrol.
So horse trailer being delivered.
¿Puedo abrir ahí? A ver los caballos. No tengo aquí. No. ¿Se abre?
So.
No se muevan, ¿ok? I get it. Okay, clear the radio. Radio 304. I got a horse trailer here with UDA, send me Border Patrol.
ID only.
And so, as you can see, there's already a criminal network. This is an audio taken by an undercover person.
And they don't even speak English. And he said that he has some ICE uniforms, so if you put them on and if they gonna give us any problems for the ICE police?
The ICE police there just to collect the trail. Because you need to lay it low, because I got a piece of property where you can lay it low if you need to. But if they're gonna get the title that fast, you ain't gotta worry about it.
That's kind of the way I look at it. It'll be fine.
You'll be able to get tags for it or whatever you need. Well, we're not even required tags there.
Hook it up and be gone.
Yeah.
You're 2 miles down the road and plug the lines in and finish hooking it up.
It's a livestock trailer, ain't nobody gonna question you.
Yeah, absolutely not.
It's like we gotta find, and these old boys that can do the VIN and the titles, can they do that anytime? Or whoever you have to, because we're gonna need those drugs that you were talking about, because some of these horses, we're gonna need them.
Absolutely.
I've got one right now that I would love to run through an auction, dose up, because he,
Absolutely. I got plenty of drugs.
but I'll give you a call back here in about an hour or two.
So they're talking about stealing horse trailers and horses. Yeah. This is a horse auction pipeline, and so you see the blue dots here across the country. Most of these are either horse slaughter pipeline auctions only, or auctions where the kill buyers sort of come in and do their business between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. This is the human trafficking hotspots. It's an overlay. We're not implying that horse slaughter is simply for human trafficking, but it's awfully coincidental, and this is the pull through. Here are just some photos of humans being smuggled. This is just audio. We took this in Texas as we were down there having meetings. This horse trailer, they have just boarded up with wood completely across the sides and the back. And there's no reason for that. Unless you're smuggling something you're not supposed to be smuggling with horses. And we're just riding alongside this trailer. And as you can see, there's no identifying marks on that trailer. Screwworm, if everybody knows about screwworm, that's a significant threat. The first horse was identified in Florida. That horse was flown in by a buyer. It's not a kill pen horse. Was quarantined as appropriate, but it was found in that horse. Again, screwworm. So we're talking about that. Zoonotic diseases. You see our vet here, or Horse Plus's vet, checking out this horse. The CDC required Horse Plus to now dress in full PPE gear when we get horses in. So our medical staff are, as you can see, are now wearing full PPE gear to test all the horses. Zoonotic diseases, the CDC reports that nearly 60% of all known infectious diseases may be zoonotic. In a study of horses, out of 101, 89% had significant zoonotic disease potential. So we talk about this as well when we're lobbying. The World Bank estimates that we could end up with a $1 to $4 trillion GDP loss by 2030. This is everyone's friend, Bowie. This is David O'Dwyer, Bowie. While we were in Texas, this was just serendipitous. He went into the Texas Thoroughbred auction, which he's not allowed to go to, and he bought 11 thoroughbreds. And by the time they realized who he was, he had purchased the horses. They kicked him out, wanted the horses back. He said, no, you're going to have to buy them back for me, mark them up 30%. It took 24 hours for the board to approve it. By that time, he had sold 9 of the 11. And so here he gets on social media essentially saying, I just dumped antibiotics in the horses.
As soon as I bought those horses, I brought them into my place here. 2 of them came in with snot blowing out their nose, and that's from the TTA auction up there. Not saying they did it, but that's the way they came in. And as soon as they stepped off my trailer, I hit them with antibiotics.
So the problem with this is that if you have a horse with diphtheria or MRSA, we're seeing MRSA a lot, we're seeing diphtheria a lot. Now we have sexually transmitted disease. You have kill buyers pumping the horses with the antibiotics. You create a horse that is antibiotic resistant, which then if it's a zoonotic disease and it is transmitted to cattle or to humans, then you have a disease that you can't treat. So a child, an adult, another horse is going to be antibiotic resistant. The diphtheria horses, they tried to treat for 6 months. The CDC said the horses have to be euthanized because couldn't treat it. These are a list of all the zoonotic diseases that cattle and horses can carry. We don't talk about that a lot. Here is, again, our medical staff examining horses coming in to essentially be tested and move on. And again, you can see we're now in full PPE gear. This is undercover, our undercover person. You're going to hear what's happening in auctions. You want to be really careful in protecting your horses.
So what about, can you get the coffins and medical here? So I could bring a horse and run it through.
They're spray painting a stolen horse.
And be called in and medical for somebody to buy it.
Every horse that gets turned in, I have to get
So I could bring in 10 freaking stolen horses and no one would know. Why would you get married tomorrow and I can bring back these people? So all you gotta do is, I could go shop with a guy right now, bring it here, run it through this sale, don't sell it, but now I got coffins and medical. We don't see that auction.
This is behind the auction house.
You have to sell it. You take the horse to sale just to get your coffins. You ain't got to sell it.
No, yeah, you can't do that.
Well, that's what a lot of people are doing nowadays.
Yeah, you can just sell them.
Illegal horse meat. We have a fake account with a gang called the Tongan Cowboys that are essentially getting horses from auction or kill buyers and then killing them in their backyard. They kill them live on Instagram and then and make a big celebration out of it. And then they carve them up right there and they take the meat into various states. We caught a restaurant in Texas while we were down there. They were fined. We send all of our tests or all of our horse meat samples to UC Davis. We found horse meat and beef mixed in. We also went undercover here in Utah. I don't know where this was, but we got meat off of a food truck trailer here in Utah, tested positive for horse meat. This is what it looks like. It's disgusting. I don't know why anybody would eat it. So here are trailers in the back of Bowie. They're freezer trucks. And so there are also some decomposing, there are bodies back here. And this is inside the freezer truck. So essentially there's some speculation about what they're doing to the horses there. And here's another audio. Oh wait, sorry.
He has some ice uniforms, so.
Okay. Money laundering, extortion, we talked about that and how really what they're doing is extortion online. This is you're gonna probably hear a familiar name in here.
Somehow I know they launder money that way somehow. Yeah, they do it to the horse they got caught. And that's fucking. After the guys that got went to jail for it got out, his son just got killed at the truck stops drive by. Yeah, that was across the street from Ramos. And in Texas. It has something to do with the way that the cartels launder money. Yeah, and then they hit him. Yeah, their dad was a horse bar guy. And he's a squirrely as hell.
With the father and
Well, it's because he got spent on him. Because they're so, they have to be so careful. One of the last jobs I did, they bought this new trailer, and it had a lower gap about that big. And he wanted to close it up. And I said, Corey, what the hell? Why do you like that? Because there's not a good way to close it up and put a study on it. His excuse was that all the hassle they get at gas stations and stuff, when people can see in there and see the horses in there. That was his only friggin' reason. That's not the real reason. It has more to do with somehow laundering money or something, because regardless, they'll get down there to the border, and the Mexican buyer people look, and the price always goes way down. And, so I don't know exactly how it works, but somehow they got their own little system going on.
That was, they're talking about Corey Baker, Stroud Kilton. And that's it. I think I'm out of time. Okay, real quick, we are not just working on the SAFE Act federally, so that's essentially what we're presenting federally. We get a lot of questions, and a lot of the reactions we get is, oh my God, well, this doesn't belong in ag. Have you gone to Homeland? Have you gone to Judiciary? This is going to need to go to a higher level. We've done that in some ways, and so we're working on it. With respect to what else we're doing, after about a year of undercover work, year and a half, we went to Texas. So we went to Texas last summer. We spent a week in Texas. We've now, I think, had 26, 27 meetings in Texas. And I am extremely excited to talk about that a little bit. The representatives that we've met in Texas are talking about this amongst themselves. They are all concerned. We have bill language. We're working with Texas Humane Legislative Network. We have the ASPCA federally and in the state of Texas on board, so they won't get in the way. So we are hoping, we're probably gonna have to fly to Texas in the next couple weeks to have a meeting with, I think, maybe the representative that's gonna take the bill. The earliest we can put a SAFE Act in place in Texas will be November, when we can get it introduced, and then earliest we can have it passed is January. So we are going, this is gonna be a state-to-state initiative. New Mexico is next, Michigan, Pennsylvania. We have a meeting with Pennsylvania with a representative in Pennsylvania next week. The reason why is because the data out of the New York bill is that no horses are being tagged in New York and shipping across the ports of entry in New York. So that bill is successful, but the problem is that the kill buyers essentially are buying and then moving the horses and tagging them in Pennsylvania for the most part, Pennsylvania and Michigan, and are now for the first time ever moving through Maine. And so we have to shut it down. So Pennsylvania, we are working with Pennsylvania Humane Action. New Mexico, we've started having meetings there. We have a meeting scheduled in the next 2 weeks, another one to continue to push forward in New Mexico. So we're hoping to start to shut down border states and then key interior states. And so that's where we are. We're still doing undercover work. So I think I know I'm out of time for that.
Yeah. Always look
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, also, we know we're a little bit tight today, and there's a lot more information there. Britta's available after we end today, if you guys want to come back in and see the full presentation and or talk to her more, because we really want to try to get people in different states to start bringing this forward, because we've tried the toxic meat, we've tried humanity, that hasn't moved the dial with horse slaughter, and by taking it into a legal situation where it's a criminal enterprise, we can get different people and they're looking at it differently about state crime. And there's a lot of people from a lot of different states here, and we hope that can help make a little bit of a difference.